Hey guys, it's Tombox. Welcome to MST.TV, and this video we're going to be going over the top 10 countdown of the MEGATIN of Lost Memories, the best cards in the set. Sometimes you get a set that is full of really good promotional product like Nibiru, Dark Ruler No More, even D-Shifter to some degree. A lot of people enjoyed it, but in this case there's no promos, so all of the value is in the content, and I would have to say the content value is there. You've got a lot of the big name hitters, Appaloosa, Borreload, a lot of the big names are there, so that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the top 10 cards in this set, and we're going to also get some honorable mentions in there, so we're going to get more than just 10 cards mentioned here. Side note, yes, I am participating in the Remote Duel Invitational. If you guys want to cheer me on, don't forget to tune in for that. Maybe I'll be featured on a stream match, maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see about that, but, thank you for, cheering me on. I'm supposed to be boot camping right now, so this is probably going to be the only video you'll see of me this week. So make sure you guys smash that thumbs up button, hit subscribe, ding notification bell, and if you guys haven't seen it already, there's a giveaway that has already happened, maybe. But, if we hit 69, we will do a massive giveaway, and we're going to do it Mr. B style. Probably. And let's do this. So let's go into the top 10 cards of the MEGATIN of Lost Memories. Number 10, Cherubini Ebon Angel of the Burning Abyss. This card was originally released in Dark Neostorm, and this is the very first reprint. Being a secret rare, it was made popular, of course, by BA decks at first, but then what really made it gain a lot of popularity after the fact is 3-axis Dragon Link, being able to just dump Carbonetins and everything, set up your Guard Dragon LP plays simply by having Cherubini, and it was just so essential. It's turning tour guides into basically a Dragon Link combo, and that's where this card comes in. And to be honest, I really enjoy having this card being reprinted. I don't own a copy of this. I'm borrowing my friend Quinn's. I will have to return it to you. I've been borrowing it for like the last 6 months, so yeah. I'll get back to you very soon. Thanks for letting me play with the card for so long. Next we have number 9. This is one of Phil's favorite card, Gizmek Orochi. Activate Gizmek. Okay, so this original print was from Rising Rampage. It was kind of an underestimated card when it first came out, but then of course Phil decided like, oh dude, man, it's a free dark machine, what more do you want? He made it popular, and then he was from like one of the original builds when all the builds do not care about this card. He's like, dude, it's just a free body. You don't care about your deck once everything's dumped in, and it became popular, I believe. It was around that time. But on top of that, there's also Grand Maju support, which was Banish 8, which can really fuel up your Grand Maju to Iza really hard and boost them up by 3200 attack, which is why it's also a staple there. This card is just a free body overall and can also pop cards. Number 8, we go into Draco Berserker of the Tenyi. Now this is kind of a strange spot. I mean, it could have been 10th, it could have been 9th, could have been... but now it is 8th for me. The reason why is because it's a generic Synchro 8. Yes, there are more powerful Synchro 8s available, but this one has a more unique interaction where, it can chain to something, a monster effect, and then banish it. It doesn't negate it, it just banish it. So for any type of monster effect that would act as an extender, this is a card that would act as an actual wall, because not only did it not negate it, it got rid of it, so you can't use it anymore. In that case, yes, you got rid of the monster where it hurts, and it's also a very big beat stick. The only thing it really lacks is sort of negation or protection, but this is much more aggressive in some sense. But if you can put out 2 level 8s synchros, this might be one of your choices, and I'm really glad it's getting a reprint. Number 7, we have one of the Chaos Impact originals. Of course, we have Star Liege Seifert. Seifert was an essential card back in the day of Chaos Dragon Link, and it was able to fetch back cards like heavy hitters like Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Just fetch it back, just dump it into the graveyard, add it back to your hand. And it was also a 1-card white or black dragon, which essentially counted as 2 dragon, which is why this card is so amazing. And there's also another dragon fighting for that top spot. We also have number 6, Omni Dragon Brotar, originally released in Dark Neostorm. Dark Neostorm, this is one of the most versatile searches in the entire game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it can basically search anything as long as it's on the field, so you can match the type and attribute. So whenever someone Nibiru's you and you're able to drop in an Omni Dragon Brotar because, say, your Erratic Seal of Heavenly Spheres got tributed, summon this guy out, target whatever Nibiru is, and then you get yourself your own Nibiru to prevent your opponent from extending off with their own combo, which is why this card is also very useful in a lot of different situations. This card is just one of the most amazing dragon-based cards, especially if Guard Dragon LP is available. This card is always going to be very strong. And number 5, can you imagine? Number 5 spot is Pot of Extravagance. This card is getting a reprint again. This is the second reprint. OG print was from the Savage Strike. Second print was from Toon Chaos. And yeah, just draw 2 cards and can't draw any further. And for any sort of control-based deck, this card was basically essential for a very long time. With that being said, since it is the second reprint, I'm only putting it at the desired level of number 5 because there are just so many other more powerful cards that are available for us to kind of choose from. But before we get into the top 4, let's go into some of the honorable mentions. For the honorable mentions, they're not in any particular order, so I'm just going to show them all right now. And we have Infinitrack Fortress Megaclops. This was originally printed in Infinity Chasers, and I have to say this card is one of the more amazing boss monster. Although it is not Infinitracks that are playing it, it's basically every other deck that can spam Xyz. So we have Zodiacs for their Zodiac boss monster because the opening combo make this, and then any deck that do not run Xyz monsters will struggle for a very long time unless they have impermanence to negate the effect so they can finally be affected by other types of monster effects. Otherwise, you have to destroy it by battle using an Xyz monster or affect it with an Xyz monster. It's just not very easy. Or you can use spells and traps. That's really all you have to take care of this monster. So Zodiacs can just spam out their Zodiac combo, make this monster, but Numerons also can make it because you just get 1 additional summon, so they can just link summon into this bad boy. And I guess just for a fun fact, guys, if you go against a Numeron deck and the first thing they make is Zexal, Zexal dies, and then they somehow get off the combo the second time, I guarantee you, if they're a smart player, they'll probably go with the Infinitrack Fortress Megaclops because it can actually revive the Zexal in the graveyard and start reattaching materials onto it. It gets really annoying and you'll be stuck under a Zexal lock for the rest of the game unless you're able to clear both with, say, something like a Lava Golem, something that does not activate because you'll be locked out of activation for the rest of the game. Next we have Striker Dragon, although kind of like late, I guess, but hey, better late than never. We have the Striker Dragon available for, I guess, one of the key cards for Dragon Link combo. And Dragon Link combo, I really hope you don't die on a ban list, but I feel like the next video coming up would be a banless one. I think banless would be actually live because tournaments are starting to happen once again. Next up, we have Fantastical Dragon Phantasme. No one's gonna call him Thanos Dragon anymore because it's over. The whole Marvel party is over. Original print, Savage Strike, reprint, Dual Overload. This card has been reprinted already and is still deserving an honorable mention because it's great for your side deck binder, and for anyone coming into the game, this is also great trade value. I hope it's not like super expensive, and maybe they'll give it a pretty decent rarity. I mean, it's already secret, it's already I guess an ultra, maybe we'll get a super print. I don't know, I haven't confirmed with what the rarities are for these cards just yet, but it's just nice to have this card printed again because it is very powerful, and I think it's a nice way to actually reach deeper into your other hand traps since links are still being played because of needle fiber combos. Next we have No Material. This one's kind of an interesting one. It is a nice hand trap, it's a good spot for your side deck binder as well. It was super expensive on release and now it's toned down, but why is it not worth as much? Because it's just really hard to play, and if you get called by the grave on this one, it's just not very good. It's nice to be able to stun out the material, and especially with new master rule when people can still like synchro and make their synchro plays or Xyz plays outside of the extra monster zone, you're actually in a pretty good spot. Like, this card isn't as devastating. You could still hit some pretty major hitters, like, oh, they set up a tuner ready for it, and they go into link cross, make the 2 tokens. You can maybe hit the tuner of some sort, and then it will be maybe good to go. That's what I'm hoping for. But that's all I can really think about for No Material for now. But it's nice to actually have that one available in case the format shifts where it would become important again. Now for the Abomination player, OG print in Chaos Impact. I would have to say this one has a high potential for comeback, and which is why I'm looking forward to seeing what the right builds are going to be for this particular deck. And this is one of their search cards, and it was probably one of the pricier cards of that deck. And if you guys want to go Super Saiyan Blue, Mech Knight, Crusadia Avramax, of course this card is going to be mentioned. Super powerful. OG print was in Dark Neostorm. It was a secret rare there. I don't think it was like the most popular card, but it was still a boss monster nonetheless. As long as you summoned out 2 monsters from the extra deck, you will be able to make this, and it's a really powerful card. It has contingency when it leaves the field. I don't know what else I can actually say that would just, you guys already know what this card does anyways, but these are the honorable mentions. Can you imagine what we're gonna see for some of the more powerful cards? Let's go into the top 4, and hopefully that's what I'm gonna make. I'll make top 4 in the tournament. Oh, we can all hope. I'm training really hard, guys. And for the top 4, number 4, IP Masquerena. In fact, these are some of the biggest hitters, the most impactful cards. It's finally available for mass print, and these are the ones that are probably going to tank the rest of them in price. Of course, IP Masquerena, OG print in the Chaos Impact. It lets you use your Nightmare cards against your opponent on their turn. You can make Appaloosa, basically stun them up. It's very flexible, very powerful, and being able to dodge certain effects simply by just link summoning off your monsters during your opponent's turn is very impactful. Of course, one of her key weaknesses is declaring the battle phase. Going into the battle phase, you can only activate her effect during the main phase, which is a pretty big deal. Number 3, Appaloosa, Bow of the Goddess. Can you imagine? Number 3 being Appaloosa is pretty insane already, because Appaloosa, the only reason why I put her in this spot is because she has, of course, the original print in Rising Rampage, and then there's also a reprint coming in Maximum Gold. And remember, she is in premium gold rarity, so I think that is going to be the collector rarity for the Appaloosa. I think that's but then again, Appaloosa already has like a Starlight rare, so it just becomes kind of weird where we're gonna see that spot for that premium gold spot. Like, is that gonna be like right below the secret, like right above the secret rare, right below the secret rare? I want to know like how the Appaloosa rarity is going to like fluctuate in terms of its price points, because we know Starlight Rare Appaloosa is probably one of the most expensive cards available to this date. And number 2, we have Borreload Savage Dragon. This dragon is insane. Original print in Savage Strike. It is the cover card of Savage Strike. Best Synchro 8 of the format, providing you with an Omni Negate, and it's also very big. Because of its Omni Negate nature, if you can make them pretty early, it provides you with a much safer turn. This is also Dragon Link's one of its biggest boss monsters, but aside from Dragon Link's biggest boss monster, it is every combo's synchro monster right now. If you're going to Crystron combo, Crystron Cleaverbacks, Crystron Needle Fiber, this is the dragon you're going to go into. I don't think you're going to go into any other 8. Although, considerably, if you're playing in the format, consider this. Consider using Crimson Blader. If you're able to successfully swing with your Crimson Blader once, doesn't that essentially skip your opponent's turn? They can't go into any Eldritch cards. They can't even activate any of their back row that is an Eldritch, because they'll be locked out of summoning anything that's like Eldritch related, and they can't fusion summon. Anything with levels 5 or higher is locked out. That's a pretty big deal if you ask me. That's something to consider, but successfully landing that swing sounds a little bit more difficult. But it seems like the deck that would, you know, benefit off of it, or that would synergize most with it, I would say is Infernoble Knights. And finally, at our number 1 spot, this is an exclusive to this tin, original print in the tin, Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. I don't think it was anyone surprised that this card was going to be here. This is the metagame shifter. Yes, it is really hard to actually break this card, considering that a lot of cards these days, they do target to negate, they do some sort of non-targeting destruction. That's fine. If you look at, say, Eldritch, you have your Conquistador to do your popping, and then your other effect with the Golden Lord, that needs to target. This card is untargetable and cannot be destroyed by card effects, which is basically like BLS. But instead of the Link BLS, this one just negates and destroys cards. That is hard to play against. It's almost like Masterpiece level. And we all know how Masterpiece went. Like, if you can create a boss monster that is that strong with negation ability, and since it cannot be destroyed by card effects, even if you Solemn Strike it, it will stay alive. That is a very big problem. And don't forget, Solemn Strike can't kill it because, of course, you have to fusion summon out this card, so Solemn Strike is not even an option. You need stuff like Solemn Warning on the spell. It's just not an easy way to stop this card. So the best way to do it is with Forbidden Droplets, which is why Droplets is going to hold its price for some time now. That's just going to be a fact, guys, because Droplets does not target and can also have the attack, and because of that, it makes it easy to run over. On top of getting it negated, it clears 2 of the hard stages that this card provides as protection. So this card is going to be, although as amazing as it may be, it is definitely one of the cards that everyone you should learn how to counter it before it comes in, because there's a lot of decks that just won't be able to handle this. And your negation versus that negation, Mecha Buzz pretty good. You can kaiju it, whatever it may be. But this card is amazing. Look through your bulk for like, I don't know, Red Eyes Black Dragon and Dark Magicians. Look through them, find it. If you guys got some high rarities, I'm sure those guys might have also picked up in a bit of popularity as well. And those are my top 10 picks. Look at the top 5. Like the top 5, you have Pot of Extravagance, IP Masquerade, Appaloosa, Borreload Savage, and of course Red Eyes Dark Dragoon. This is such a heavy hitter set. Every single card mentioned has some level of high level of impact in the competitive scene, and providing this kind of product to like everyone, I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really hoping that nothing's like too crazily short printed. That's just my opinion here. I'm really hoping it's not, but then again, hopefully Nishi, you got me covered on this. And oh, by the way, Nishi, please take care of the channel while I am kind of boot camping my way up. I'm not really, I was gonna work on a video like highlighting like the weaknesses of various decks, but now I have to put that into application. So by the time I'm done this week, I'll have the video ready for you guys about how to beat the current stuff in the meta, because I'm training for it. So I have to get even more thorough than before and go into the more in-depth interactions. So make sure you guys hit that like button, hit subscribe, ding the notification bell if you guys enjoyed this video. And yeah, if we hit the 696969 sub mark, we will do a Mr. B style giveaway. It'll be really cool. I will bring a box, an empty box, and I'm just going to go place to place, loading it from my collection, which I actually moved over to this new location. And we'll see what happens there. And then I'll probably drive to like Nishi's place and I'll be like, hey Nishi, throw stuff into this box. What are you gonna throw in there? And it'll be a pretty epic video, guys. And that's all I got for this video, guys. If you guys enjoyed this video, already mentioned it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.